Okay, guys. So, Assalamu alaikum. So, I hope that you all are having a good climate and you all are ready for the Islam class. I'm glad to see around like half of the people are here. So, anyways, so most of them sent me a message regarding the grade 11. Like, teacher, you are doing the grade 10 or the grade 11. So, I'll give you a clear description. The thing is, I will be connecting the grade 10 and 11 together and teaching you all, because now I told you I'll be focusing you all on the exam. Like, I'll be teaching you that the things that is needed for the exam. So the things that is having a connection between grade 10 and 11, I'll be teaching them first. Then I'll be teaching those individual lessons later, one by one. So probably by within 2 weeks, I'll be sending you all the lesson plans and how that is going to work. So yeah. Anyway, so I hope that you all are following up the group and you all are 100% clear, right? So understand, I won't have a separate for grade 10 and 11. I will be connecting both 10 and 11 together in order to get a clear understanding in the lessons. So that is one way of learning, right? So other thing is, you all are supposed to do the self studies. Like, you all have to read, you all have to do some questions. Apart from my questions, you all have to start reading, researching and doing it. So that is how we learn Islam, right? So yeah, so that's it about I want to tell you. Other than that, is there any doubts? Is there any doubts that you wanted to ask? No, right? So shall we move to the lesson? Yeah. Okay, right. So today we are going to study about Iman and Amal. We are going to study about Iman and Amal. Right. Okay. So now let's say, for example, this is you. Let's say, for example, this is you and this is Allah. Right. The connection between you or the line between you. Yes, I will be finishing the lessons. Probably I told you, right? I will be giving you the lesson plan. So which means probably I have a target to finish all the lessons before your exams. So that is what I meant, right? Okay. So now what is happening? So let's say this is you and Allah. The connection between you and Allah is the line of Iman. So that we call it as what? The line of Iman. So now whenever we speak about Iman, what do you mean by Iman? Now think, now you are created and the Allah is here. So the between you and Allah, the connection is what? What is connecting between you and Allah? That is Iman. So Iman, we can call it in different terms. One term, we call it as faith. Other term, we call it as belief. We can call it as belief. Then other thing you say love. We can call this as love of Allah. So Iman can be termed as different ways, as belief, faith, love. Then don't come to tell me love means this is what. No, I'm telling you that if you are trusting something firmly, that is of love. You trust someone, you trust your parents, that is you called it as love. So you are trusting Allah means it is a love that is given to Allah, right? Now listen to me. So whenever we speak about Iman, Iman gets complete when you believe that 6 articles of Iman. So what are the 6 articles of Iman we have? We have to believe in Allah, books, angels, prophets, and day of judgment. We have to learn about what? The last day. So if you are believing all 6 articles of Iman, that means you are having a strong Iman. So remember, whenever we say Iman, Iman means what? You believe without any doubt. That you call it as Allah. So what are you believing is the question. So what are you believing? You are believing those 6 articles given by Allah, that you call it as Iman. So what do you mean by Iman? Having faith in articles of Islam, that you call it as what? Iman. Now think, whenever you speak about Iman, there is something connected. We call it as intention. We call it as intention. Intention means what? What you think. So the intention, we call it as Ikhlas. We call it as what? Ikhlas. So whenever we speak about, yeah, niyat also we can say. That's correct. So we call it as what? Intention. So what kind of a intention should you have? Like, do you want to have a double intention, like is Allah is good or Allah is bad, or you strongly believe that Allah is our God? And what kind of intention should you have? Should you have a pure or a non-pure intention? So pure intention should be there in order to accept the Iman. So whenever we speak about Iman, Iman gives you different terms like love, belief, faith, intention. So whenever we say Iman, along with the Iman, who is coming? Intention is also coming. What kind of a intention? Pure intention. So pure intention, you call it as Ihlas. You call it as Ihlas. So Iman plus pure intention, and if you are trusting all 6 articles of Iman, that means you are building up a strong connection between Allah and you. So that is what you call it as Iman. Did you understand? You can't by heart the term Iman. You should understand what is Iman. The connection between you and Allah, you call it as what? Iman. So whenever we say about Iman, what do you think about Iman? Right. Iman means faith. What kind of a faith should you have? You should have a faith with a pure intention, where you are accepting, where you are trusting all 6 articles of Allah, that you call it as Iman. So did you understand what is Iman? So think, you and your best friend, let's say for example, there you have come across with such incidents. Let's say for example, now let's say you got a new best friend. Let's say you got a new best friend. So this is you and your best friend. So what do? You and your best friend always like to go to all the places around the school together, right? Without your best friend, you are nothing. So same as that, whenever we take Iman, Iman has a best friend, we call him as Amal. Without Amal, there is no Iman. Without Iman, there is no Amal. Like they both are made for each other. That is what we call it. That is what we call it as what? Like, what do you think? What kind of relationship you can say? You can't say friendship. Friendship always break, no? Friendship doesn't have loyalty. What kind you say? What kind of a relationship is it? You can say flower with its fragrance. So flower, there is no flower without fragrance. Without fragrance, there is no flower. So no flower without fragrance. Without fragrance, there is no flower. So that means, imagine, Iman is the flower, Amal is the fragrance. So what kind of a relationship both of them are having? Fragrance. That means the flower bind together with fragrance. This kind of a relationship that Iman has built. Right. Okay, listen to me. Now what did we learn? We studied what is Iman. So Iman means what? You are having faith in articles of Islam. That you call it as Iman. So Amal means think, there is a best friend for the Iman. That is, we call it as Amal. I didn't tell you what Amal will do, but for now understand, Iman and Amal are like bind together. You cannot separate them. Without Amal, there is no Iman. Without Iman, there is no Amal. So they are bind together with like what? Flower with its fragrance. Now listen to me. Now what is happening is, now when you take Iman, there are 2 types of Iman. When you take Iman, there are 2 types of Iman. Before we come to Amal, there are 2 types of Iman. Yes, yeah, they have both the same meaning. Iman and Akida is same. I'll tell you the connection, what is happening. Okay, now listen. There are two types of Iman. One we call it as Iman Mujmal. We call it as Iman Mujmal. Other one we call it as Iman Mufassal. Iman Mufassal. So one type of Iman you call it as Iman Mujmal. Other one you call it as Iman Mufassal. So Iman Mufassal in the sense like you are believing 6 articles of Islam. No? So whatever the articles that you believe, that will come under Iman Mufassal. Iman Mujmal means the things that is spoke, that is conveyed by the Prophet. So that we can say statements, or we can say some things that is conveyed by Prophet. So whatever the things that is told by the Prophet, that is coming under Iman Mujmal. So usually when you talk about Iman, if you know the two types of Iman, that's enough. They don't ask you whether, what is Iman Mujmal, Iman Mufassal. Like sometimes they might ask you, but the simple explanation regarding the Iman Mujmal means the things that we can say, the statements conveyed by Prophet. You call it as Iman Mujmal. The things that is the 6 articles that is believed by the basic faith, the basic articles of Islam comes under Iman Mufassal, right? So now when you talk about Iman, think, now I told you that Iman and Amal combined together. Iman and Amal is both of them are combined together. So whenever we speak about Iman, I told you Iman can be called as what? It can be called as Akida also. So Akida is the part that you study, right? Like it's a term. Akida is a terminology. So where you study. So Akida and Iman, both of them are similar to each other. So whenever we say Amal, we call it as what? We call it as actions. So can you tell me some actions where you get good deeds? Can you share me some actions where you take good deeds? Like for example, when we say actions, we can call it as what? Ibadah. We can call it as Ibadah. So Amal is connected to the word Ibadah, yeah, prayers. Now, other than prayers, like day-to-day activities, like what? What kind of a day-to-day activity? Like sleeping is also ibadah. Eating is also ibadah. Like something that you do, sadaqah, everything is going to be considered as what? Ibadah. So remember, in traditional time, like when you say Islamic tradition, whatever the good deeds that is taking place, we call it as what? Ibadah. We trust Allah and do something, we call it as ibadah. So another term for ibadah, we call it as amal. Did you understand what are the things is happening right now? So iman is similar to the akidah. Amal is similar to the ibadah. Do you understand? Right. So now what is happening? Now whenever we say Iman and Amal, both of them are combined. So Iman, we call it as faith. Amal, we call it as action. Or we can say Ibadah. So can we say, like, how can we write the note? First of all, let's write the note, a very short note, how we can write about Iman. So write the Iman at the center. Then write what are the terms that we can call for the Iman. We can call it as faith, or we can say belief. What else? What are the terms we can call it as? Then what else we can write? We can write it as similar to Akida. It can be similar to Akida. Then what else? What else you can say about Iman? Yeah, we can say love towards Allah, the connection between you and Allah. Connection between you and Allah, you call it as Iman. So these are the terminologies that we can call for the Iman. So what is the real definition of Iman? You are having faith on what? Having faith in articles of Islam. Having faith in articles of Islam, that you call it as what? Iman. So this is the definition for Iman. Then you can write what are the two types of Iman I told you. Iman Mujmal. Another one you call it as Iman Mufassal. So Iman Mujmal and Mufassal. So Iman Mujmal means what? The statements that is conveyed by the prophets, you call it as Iman Mujmal. Iman Mufassal means the basic articles of Islam. The basic articles of Islam comes under Iman Mufassal. Right. Can you write them out? Is it raining there still? Having connection issues? Like I see so many people are leaving, then joining back again. It's up to you, Amika. That's fine. Okay, it's Azan, it's in. I'll continue after the Azan. Hold on. Mujmal means statements conveyed by Prophet. Like we don't want much explanation to that. Statements conveyed by Prophet. Raining. Yeah, even I had the connection issue. So yeah, anyways, it was fine. Okay, guys. Now, what did we learn? We studied about Iman. So simply, we can say Iman means what? We say having faith. We say having faith, you call it as Iman, right? So when we talk about Iman, always remember you need to have a pure intention. Let's say, for example, I trust Allah. So when I trust Allah, in my intention, I should not have any doubt regarding Allah. Like I should not have any doubt regarding the prophets or angels or books. So without any doubt, if I'm accepting the 6 articles of Islam, so that you call it as Iman. So when you talk about Iman, Iman has 70 branches. How many branches are there in the Iman? There are 70 branches in the Iman. So when we talk about the highest branch is the La ilaha illallah. So what is the highest branch in the Iman? That is no God but Allah. So I'll write that in English. You all are supposed to write in Arabic. I mean the English term in Arabic. So you can write it as no God but Allah. So that is what they have mentioned in La ilaha illallah. So that is the highest branch in the Iman. So then when we take the lowest, wait, what do you think about the lowest? You can say removal of harmful. You can say removing something from the road which can harmful. For example, you people eat banana and you throw the banana peel in the road. So now what will happen if someone or your friend, someone might tremble and they slip and fall, they will break their head. So that means you are the reason for that accident. So that means you will get the sin. So instead of doing it, instead of throwing it in the road, if you can dispose it correctly, that means you are protecting someone's life or you are saving someone's life. So that is also kind of a Iman. So removal of, what can you write it? We can say removal of like hindrance. We can say removal of what? Removal of obstacle. Yeah, we can write it as removal of obstacle that can harm. So we can write shortly. So when you talk about Iman, remember Iman is the main part of Islam. So therefore, Iman has 70 branches. The highest is going to be La ilaha illallah. The lowest is going to be the removal of obstacle that can be harmful, that you call it as the lowest branch of Iman. So other than that, what can you say? Modesty. Do you know what is modesty? Modesty means what? That will not bring any shame to you. Like, for example, we have to cover the aura. That means we have to wear properly. We shouldn't expose ourselves to others. So modesty, if you are covering yourself properly, that is also considered as Iman. So did you understand? So Iman has 70 branches. The highest is going to be the La ilaha illallah, and the lowest is going to be you are going to remove of any obstacle that can be harmful to anyone, or the modesty. Because we call it as what? Like that can bring any shame to you. You have to protect yourself from the shame. So that is, you call it as the lowest branch of Iman. Did you understand the highest and the lowest? Yeah, can you write them out? Can you write them out? Today, like, today I will be a little, I might do it a little bit delay, and I will take a little time because I was sick today. So since I don't want to cancel the class, I'm giving my whole potential to do the class, right? Okay. Yeah, that's correct, Zainab. Yeah, cleanliness is also part of Iman. So when we say Iman, Iman is the like heart of the Islam. Like the total part is controlled by the Iman. Without Iman, you can't do nothing. Right. So yeah, once done writing, let me know. Let's move on. It's okay, Shamla. That's fine. Amika, 70 branches are there. Out of 70, the highest is going to be the La ilaha illallah. The lowest is going to be the removal of obstacle that can be harmful, and the modesty. Modesty in the sense you have to cover yourself, your aura. That means you should not expose yourself. So that is also one kind of a Iman. Right. Okay. Now tell me, who is the best friend of the Iman? The best friend of the Iman is going to be the Amal. The best friend of the Iman is going to be the Amal. Let's say, for example, one day your friend is asking you a pen. Let's say she or he is asking a pen. Now, what do you do? First thing, whenever you do a action, let's say, whenever they do a whenever you are doing an action, this action should have what? Your intention should be there. Now, what if my intention is something like this? I will give the pen, but the pen should not work to you. That means, will it be good deed? Will it be considered as the righteous deed? Will it be considered as a deed? No, it will not be considered as what? Deed. Why? You didn't have a pure intention, therefore my action also was not pure. So therefore the Allah will not accept it as a deed. So whenever you talk about Amal, remember, Amal needs pure intention. That pure intention comes from where? It comes from the Iman. So what do you think? What do you mean by Amal? You are following the Iman. You are putting the Iman to action, and you are doing that, is you call it as Amal. So you are following the Iman, as well as you are putting them into actions. What are you doing? You are doing a work that you call it as Amal. So remember, if the Iman has to be accepted by Allah, there are three conditions. If Allah has to accept it, if Allah wants to accept the Iman, there are three conditions. first condition is you have to accept it by your heart. Yes, it's ibadat. I didn't see someone. Wait a minute. Yes, yeah, that's correct. Okay, look here. So, how do you accept? You have to sincerely accept. You have to sincerely accept by heart. First of all, sincerely you have to accept by heart. Then what else? Now, not only by heart, it should be in your actions as well. So, next thing you have to orally said. You have to your like orally you have to accept it. So orally, it should be said by your tongue. Then what else? You have to put into action. So you have to put into action. So you have to put into actions. So these are the three conditions where the iman is getting up accepted by the amal. Did you understand? So if the iman has to get accepted by using the amal, that means when the both of them has to be accepted, there you have a condition. First condition, what you should have? Pure intention. When you have a pure intention, how do you have to have a pure intention? By accepting it by your heart. You have to accept, okay, Allah is there. Yes, you are accepting. Then you say it orally by your tongue. Then what else you do? You put them into actions. So that is what it is considered as the amal. So the last one is considered as the amal. The rest of them are iman. So this is how our life is created. So whenever we say iman, remember there is an action. So that action should be put into in this way. So there is a flow. What is the flow of iman and amal? Pure intention. That pure intention should be accepted by whom? By heart. Then by heart, then you have to orally said. It should be orally said, then put into action. So this is how you have to work on it. So these are the conditions that you have to maintain when you are believing, when you are having a firm faith and amal. Right? Clear with that? So then what do we call this as? If you are having a strong iman and if you are putting them into actions as a good deed, you call them as move me. We call it as what? Move me. We call them as what? Move me. So whenever you do amal, what is the result you get? You get a good deed. You receive what? You receive good deeds. So good deeds, we can call it as another term called ibadah. We call it as ibadah. Clear? This is the flow. Did you understand the connection? When you have iman, you should have amal. When you have amal, you should have iman. So iman is based on pure intention. So if you are doing any actions and following with your pure intention, that is called as amal. That amal will give you good deed, that is considered as ibadah. So therefore, if you want to get accepted by Allah, there are three conditions. One condition, you have to trust firmly by your heart, then set it orally and put them into action. So these are the three conditions that has to be satisfied, that to be accepted by Allah. Did you understand? Clear with that? Can you draw this out properly? Yeah, it is performing according to the Quran and Sunnah. So whatever we study in this book, whatever the things that we study in Islam, everything we study according to the Quran and Sunnah. Right? Right. Can you write them out? Draw it nicely. Yeah. Okay, I'll tell you some characteristics of ibadah. Like whenever you have a solid character in the sense, if you are having a disciplined character, then you are having ibadah. That means you are having a good deed. Whenever you speak patiently, if you have patience, if you are having a cultured mind, then if you are able to earn self-discipline, these all are act of ibadat. So if you don't know to speak to a teacher, or if you don't know to respect your colleague, that is considered as you are disrespecting Allah. Why? You don't have iman, you don't have that deed, you don't want. So the way you speak, the way you represent yourself is also considered as ibadah. So make sure our day-to-day activities are considered as the ibadah. So whatever the things that you do, you should have a pure intention. So whenever we have a pure intention, you should always think about Allah. I'll come to the next part that is very important. So first, write this out and let me know. So tell me some actions related to the Iman and Amal. What are the actions? What are the good qualities? We can say one, worship, praying. Yeah, we can say praying or worship. Social service, good characteristics. Now tell me, having jealous on someone, is it good? No, we can't have jealous. That means you are a shaitan. So when now there is a punishment, okay? So it is told by Prophet, whoever has jealous on someone, his house should, like his family and his properties and everything should burn. Like, you know, it should burn itself. So that much anger is shown by Prophet for those who have jealous on someone. So Allah told you, you also have blessings. The other people also have the same blessings. So don't compare your blessings with other one and get jealous. So that is what he says. So make sure if someone is living good or if someone is happy, don't get jealous. Why? You have a time, you have better than that. You will have the best version that is given by Allah. So you have to wait for the right time. So that time we'll speak about another type of amal. I'll introduce that later. So first, done writing this, clear with that part. Now who is Mumi? The person who has faith and practices good. Yeah, I'll write Shakib. I'll write some characteristics related to the ibadat. Characteristics in ibadat, let me write it. So first, done writing. Nasiha, you mean the hadith and the Quranic verse? Of course, you can write, but if they ask you only, without, if they don't ask you for hadith or Quranic verse, no use of writing. So they will look what you understand and what you write it right. So that is what they look into that. Right. You all have done writing. Okay, right. Okay. Yes, Mariam, of course you have to take the short note. The reason because I will send you the short note. I told you that I will take some time to send you a short note and unit past papers. That means according to the unit with the years, I will be giving those past paper questions. We will be doing that later. First, let's complete the lessons. I mean, like first I'll be completing the first 10 lessons and starting the past paper sessions with y'all. Apart from that, let's go in a flow, right? Don't be hurry, okay? Uh, Remind me to send the lesson plan for the Islam, so let's work on it. Yeah, anyways. Do you all need vocabulary? Do you all need some vocabulary related to the Islam? Like some complicated English words will be used in Islam, right? So do you all need a vocabulary set for that each lesson? Yes or no? Right, I'll try to send the vocabulary accordingly. Right, anyways, like, look here. Now, what did we learn? Revise it with me. What did we learn? We know Iman. Okay. Then Amal. Right. So combination of Iman and Amal is something that should be accepted. Right. So we know that a flower with its fragrance, we call it as Iman and Amal's relationship. So when we talk about Iman and Amal, what you need to understand is whenever a person is having a strong Iman, he put them into action, that we call that person as what? Mu'min. We call him as what? Mu'min. Right? So when we talk about Iman, Iman has how many branches? 70 branches. Don't by heart. Understand with me. We have 70 branches. So what are the two stages of branches? I told you the highest and the lowest. So what is the highest and the lowest? What is the highest branch? There is no God but Allah. That is the highest branch. What is the lowest branch? Removing any obstacles that is on the road that will bring hurtful or something like that. Then what else you can say? Modesty is very important. Modesty is very important. Sure, right. Sure, Zainab, I'll send it to you. Right. So when we talk about Iman, think when we talk about Iman, what is happening here is you should understand, like, let's say, for example, now Iman and Amal, how many places the Quran has mentioned? More than 70 places. So more than 70 places, the Quran has mentioned the Iman and Amal together. So therefore they understood there is no Iman without Amal. Without Amal, there is no Iman. Right. So some people ask me, what are the Ibadah characteristics of Ibadah? So what are the characteristics that you can say about Ibadah? Now, sometimes my spelling might be different from yours because, the Arabic term doesn't have an exact spelling. Okay. Ibadah also you can say, you can write it like this also. Ibadah can be written this way, or Ibadah can be written in two ways. Okay, so there are two ways of writing. So what are the characteristics of Ibadah? First characteristics we can say what? Self-discipline. So self-discipline is one of the best characteristics that you can have. Why? You are not gazing yourself. That means you are not putting your character down, and don't blame yourself for no reason. Okay, so that is not a good thing that you can do, right? Self-discipline is one of the best. Then solid character. Solid character. So if you are having a solid character, so that is also ibadat. What else you can say? Time management. Time management is also ibadat. What else you can say? Anyone? What else you can say? Being healthy is also ibadat. Strong body. If you are having a strong body, that means you are getting good deeds. Simple. Got it? Right. Other than that, any other things that you know? Yeah, respecting others. That's good. What else? Social service. Praying, worshipping, transaction, good qualities like patience, smiling on each other. Like, don't smile at everyone. They'll think you are crazy. Yeah. Kind heart. Very good. Right. Okay. So let's come to the Mu'min part right now. Can someone tell me what is the difference between the Mu'min and the Kafir? What is the difference between the Mu'min and the Kafir? Very good. What is the difference between the Mu'min and the Kafir? So Mu'min and the Kafir has only one difference. What is the difference? Leaving out Salah. So if you are leaving out Salah, that means you are considered as what? Kafir. So leaving out Salah can be one of the characteristics that you are defined as a Mu'min or a Kafir. So if you leave out the Salah, you are falling under this category. If you are continuing the Salah with a strong Iman, you are falling under this category. So this is the hadith. So what is the hadith that says the difference between a Mu'min and a Kafir? That is the hadith Buhari. So hadith Buhari says that the difference between the Mu'min and the Kafir is leaving out Salah. See, easiest hadith that you can remember. So what is the hadith that you can remember? One hadith remember. One is The difference between the mu'min and the kafir is what? Leaving out salah. So that is one of the hadith that you can remember. So however, in exam, they will definitely will ask you for a hadith. So definitely you have to remember for a hadith. So this is the easiest hadith that you can remember. So write it by yourself. How you can write it by yourself? Don't look at the textbook. Write it alone. How can you write it? The difference between mu'min and kafir is leaving out salah. So whenever you write a hadith, you have to mention the hadith name. If not, it won't be considered as hadith. Did you understand? Right. Okay. Okay. Right. Now listen. Now, let's say, for example, now there is a hadith says, now, if you are helping the widows, can you tell me who is widows? Who is widows? Who is considered as widows? Very good. The person who lost their husband, you call it as widows. So if you are helping the widows, yeah, single mom, or if you call them as like orphan, who is orphan? Who is orphan? Who is considered as orphan? The person who doesn't have parents, no parents, no support. We call them as orphan. So instead of fasting day and night, let's say instead of fasting day and night and reciting the whole day, and if you are engaged in prayers for the whole night, but like if you're doing all of them, instead of doing all of this, if you help the widows and the orphan, that will be equal to the day that you have fasted, that you prayed, and everything. So see, Allah has made your life easier. Instead of fasting and praying, if you give them what? If you support, or if you pay for their education, or if you give them a support by paying their utility or something, that will be equal to the night that you have prayed as well as that you have fasted for a day. So what can you say? Have you ever helped someone like this? Have you ever helped often? Have you ever helped someone like whenever some let's say a miskin is coming to you and they say, give me something and all, do you shut the door or do you help them? I have seen certain people, they shut the door and they say, this is not a miskin, this is someone else. What if angels comes in the form of this? What if angels come in the form of orphan, or if they come in the form of widow? What do you understand? Allah is testing your day-to-day life. He is testing you. He is the best person to test you. You are in an exam. You can't decide this is a person who is, this person is bad, this person is good. You can't even decide who will go to the hell and who will go to the heaven. So always remember, if you have helped someone, don't tell it to everyone. I mean, like if you have helped someone, don't tell. Like you are telling me you have done, that is fine, completely fine. I'm saying that some people take photos. Have you seen? I am going to give you a parcel of rice, photo. Books, photo. Then organizing your social service, photo. What is the reason for photo? Do you think that you're doing for the sake of Allah? Do you think that you are doing for the sake of Allah? No, it is pride. So if you are doing something to make yourself happy and make the people happy, that means you are not satisfying Allah. Allah will get angry on you. Why? Allah told you have to satisfy me, but why aren't you satisfying me? You are satisfying the people surrounding you, which means Allah will be more angry on you. Why? You didn't satisfy Allah. You are just doing for the purpose of getting what? Reputed. Or just because you want to become famous. Or because of the fame you are doing it. So it is really bad. You don't gain any deeds. You never gain any deeds. So always remember, whenever you do a good deed, keep it private. Why? You did for the sake of Allah. If Allah knows your deeds enough, right? Why do you want to publish it? Ah, I helped 25 people. See, like that. If you keep on publishing yourself, the more the Allah will get angry. Did you understand? Clear with that? So that is what Allah wants to tell you. So whenever the Allah wants to tell you something, he will try to tell you secretly. Does he want to tell you like publicly? Does he tell you something publicly? No, right? He tells you privately. Same as that, you have to show love on Allah privately. You should not show. Some people are there. Now see, if someone come to your house, let's imagine you go to someone's house, suddenly they will take the prayer mat and they start praying in front of you, that to show that they are pious. No, it's not that. It's not that. Allah didn't tell keep your guest waiting and pray in front of them. He told serve the guest first, then later next. So that means you have to give priority for the certain things, and you shouldn't give priority for the certain situation. It depends. Imagine your mother is asking water and it is time for your marriage. Which one would you select? Would you go and give the water, or would you go and pray and tell Mama, I'll give you tomorrow? Will you tell like that? No, you will first give the water to your mom, then next you will go and pray. So this you call it as Amalus Sali. You call this as Amalus Sali. Or you can call it as Salihin Amal. You call this as what? Amalus Sali or Salihin Amal. So Salihin Amal or Amalus Sali, you call them as what? Like you call this, you are doing a work on the right time in the right manner. Like let's say, now this you call it as sincere deeds. Amalus Sali, you call them as sincere deeds. Sincere deeds means what? You did a work on the right time, in a right manner, that you call it as sincere deeds. This will be benefiting in this world. In this world also will be benefited. In Ahira, I mean the next world also will be benefited, and for everyone it will be benefited, that you call it as sincere deeds. So whenever you speak about sincere deeds, what do you mean by sincere deeds? They can ask you in an exam, what is Amalus Sali? Or if they ask you, when they ask you Salihin Amal, then what should be your answer? What should be your answer? We can say that the works or the actions done at correct time in correct manner, that can benefit the next world or this world or individually or spiritually, that you call it as Salihin Amal. True, Hamdan, that's correct. There are so many things that they can tell you, right? Okay, right? So what is Salihin Amal or Amalus Salihin? Actions done, actions done correct time. So that means I told you a situation. It's Marib time. Your mother is asking you water, and you are saying, "No, mother, it's time for prayers." Will you go and give the water and pray, or you will pray and give the water? That means a deed that is coming to you. That is a sincere deed. You have to give the water to her first. You have to serve your mother first. Then you have to pray. That is how you have to do it. Then how can you give the water? You have to give it in a correct way. Can you throw it to the face and come? No, it's time for the marriage. Can't. You have to do it in a correct way. So whenever you say sincere deeds, that you call it as Salihin Amal or Amalus Sali, what does that mean? Actions that are done at correct time in the correct manner, which will benefit what? In the world or next, individual or spiritually. So in this world or next world or individually or spiritually, that you call it as sincere deeds. Instead of sincere deeds, they can ask you in another term, righteous deeds. They can ask you what? Righteous deeds. So righteous deeds also can be asked. Clear with that? Clear with that? Okay. Can you tell me sharing equally with your siblings? Is it a amal or a not amal? Like, think you got a piece of cake and you are equally sharing between you and your brother. Is it amal or not amal? Of course, it is a amal. Always remember, if you have a characteristics of sacrificing, Allah would definitely give you. Sacrificing means what? You are sacrificing something for the sake of Allah. That means Allah is owing you. That means Allah should pay you. So that means, see how beautiful the Islam is. So if you do sacrifice, if you sacrifice something, you get the double the amount. Did you understand? Am I lagging? If I'm lagging, I'm so sorry, okay? Because I might have some connection issues. Mariam, next word, in this world, next world, individually or spiritually? Individually or spiritually? Okay, right. Okay, that. Okay. So now I will ask you some questions related to this. Just send me a text quickly, okay? So tell me, what is Iman? Tell me, what is Iman? What is Iman? Okay. Yeah, very good. Faith. Yes, that's correct. Okay. To have Iman, what is the main thing that you have to focus on Iman? You call it as Ihlas. To have the Iman, you have to focus on something very well. Pure intention. You have to believe in pure intention. You should have pure intention. Then who is the best friend of Iman? Who is the best friend of the Iman? Amal. What do you mean by Amal? What do you mean by Amal? Very good. Actions in righteous action. Yeah, you can say righteous action. Just action won't be Amal, right? So righteous action. If you have a strong Iman and Amal, you are called as what? You are called as what? Very good. You are called as Mu'min. Right. Iman has how many branches? Iman has how many branches? 70 branches. What is the highest? What is the highest? Yeah, Kalima 1. La ilaha illallah. Very good. What is the lowest? What is the lowest? Very good. Modesty, removing hindrance, obstacles. Very good. Right. Iman and Amal mention how many times in the Quran? How many times in the Quran? Very good. More than 70. Right. Okay. Then doing an action at correct time, correct manner that will benefit your next world and this world individually and spiritually. What do you call that as? Salihin Amal or Amal is Salihin. Right. Okay. Then give me an act of ibadat. Give me an act of ibadat. Give me an act of ibadat. Very good. Praying. Discipline. Very good. Sharing. Helping widows and orphans. Having a healthy lifestyle. That's good. Good. Right. Okay. What is the difference between you and the kafir? What is the difference between you and the kafir? Yeah. Very good. Leaving out salah. So leaving out salah is the difference. Now, which hadith, in which hadith did they mention this? In which hadith? Very good, Buhari. Very good. That means you don't want a textbook to remember, I guess. Right? Right. Okay. I hope that you don't want any textbook to remember. See, already you remember the whole lesson. Almost. Right. Okay. Now, the next part is, one day, what happened, there was an incident. What happened? Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was in the mosque. Then that time, one Sahabi came. One Sahabi came closer to the Prophet and he told Prophet, see, will you people are looking at my performance and like they see my good deeds and they are becoming happy. Then the Prophet was like, what? He was silent. Then this Sahabi didn't understand what did the Prophet say. He was like, he was blank. He was blank. The Sahabi was blank. The Prophet kept silent. He was like thinking, what happened? What is the thing that is going on? So the Prophet was silent. Then what happened? There was the Quran verse revealed to the Prophet. Then the Prophet told that whenever you do a good deed, keep it private. As you are doing for the sake of Allah, you have to keep it private. Now think, if you are a mu'min, you have to only seek pleasure from Allah. You have to seek pleasure from whom? Allah. From pleasure from Allah only you have to seek. Can you do for anything for showing off? People will remember you today. Next day they will forget you. Always remember, whenever you do something good deed, keep it private. Today you expose your good deed. Okay, let's imagine you are doing a good deed today. You are giving 100 parcels for the widows and orphans and all. You are taking photos and you are sending to the social media and you becoming reputed today. Next day, people will forget you, but not Allah. Allah will keep the record forever. Did you understand? So Allah doesn't like boasting. The worst part in human characteristics is what? Boasting. Never boast yourself. Never. Who can boast? Tell me, who can boast? Who can boast themselves? Only Allah has the right to boast. Remember, only Allah can boast himself. He is the creator. But if it is you, can you boast yourself? Can't. You are trying to becoming the God if you are boasting. Does Allah like that? No. So be a kind human creature where you are not boasting, where you are not hurting. You know, boasting means you are trying to hurt someone. No, you are hurting. If you boast, now if you go to your auntie's place and all, they will tell, my son is doing this one, my sister is doing this one, my daughter is doing this one. After coming home, your mother will nicely giving you goti samag roti. Then what happens? You are getting hurt, no? You are getting hurt. So always remember, boasting is the worst character ever. Never boast. Never boast yourself. Whatever it is, never boast. If you are studying well, keep it private. If you are having a wealth, let's say you are very wealthy, let's say, okay, keep it private. If you are a pious, keep it private. Don't go to advise anyone. People doesn't like advice, no? Did you understand? So always remember, people doesn't like advice. So make sure you keep everything private. Why do you want to expose yourself? Why do you want to expose yourself and get the anger from Allah? Yeah, if you boast yourself, evil eyes also will come along with you and dance with you, right? So always remember, never boast, never. Am I lagging? Okay, so never boast yourself. Always remember, you are being 100% for Allah. Be 100%. It doesn't matter. Allah will still forgive you. Though you are 100 or not 100, still Allah will forgive you. So you have to show obedience to Allah and the prophets and the Rasuls and all of them. So that is one thing that can be performed by the mu'min. If you are a real mu'min, if you are a mu'min, not the person who is not like, the person who is creating dramas, that person will obviously seek reward from Allah. He will wait for the best time from Allah. So always remember, you have to expect rewards from Allah, hoping for the pleasure of Allah. You always should follow the guidelines of the Prophet, and always you have to be obedience to Allah and the Prophet. So these are the 4 things that you have to perform as a mu'min. Remember, got the idea? Clear with that? Clear with that? Right. Okay. So now always remember, what do you think about good deed? What do you think about good deed? You are always seeking pleasure from Allah. Good deed means what? You are seeking pleasure from Allah. So whenever you are seeking pleasure from Allah, that is, you call it as good deed. Did you understand? Clear with that? Right. So as a movie, what are the things that you have to do? Think as what are the things I told you? Keep your good deeds private. Keep your good deeds private. Don't expose your blessings, right? Then obedience to Allah. You have to be obedient to Allah and His Rasuls. Then you have to follow the guidelines of Prophet. Then you have to only expect the reward from Allah, hoping for the pleasure of Allah. So you have to hope for the pleasure of Allah. So did you understand? So these are the 4 things that you have to consider as a movie. Clear? Right. Got it? Understood? Right. Okay. Now, there is a story, okay? There is a story that you have to remember regarding the Iman, okay? You have to understand the story regarding the Iman. I'll tell you what is the story. One day, Ali radiallahu anhu, okay? So when I talk about Ali radiallahu anhu, listen to me. Now he's a Sahaba, right? So Ali radiallahu anhu, one day he was having a battle. He was having a battle with a person. Okay, let's say this person is an anonymous person. Okay, they didn't mention the exact person. So he's having the battle. Now, what is the Ali radiallahu anhu's intention is? His intention that he is fighting for behalf of Allah. He's thinking that he is fighting for sake of Allah. He's thinking I am going to kill a person who is an enemy of Islam. So he thought that I am killing or I am fighting for someone who is enemy of Islam. So he thinks that, okay, I'm doing for the sake of Allah right now. What happened when the battle was taking place? Suddenly this person fell down on top of the opponent. Ali radiallahu anhu came and he brought the sword closer to him. That time the opponent spat on his face. Spat. Now, when he spat on the face, Ali radiallahu anhu thought that this person is not an enemy of Allah, he is enemy of mine. So if I kill him in the name of Allah, will it be a selfish or selflessness? What kind of a situation is that? If he kill that opponent, will it be a selfish characteristic or selflessness? It will become selfish. Why? He said the name of Allah and he killed his enemy. So then Ali radiallahu anhu thought, the person who spat on my face is not the enemy of Allah. He's mine enemy. He thought he's mine enemy. He is mine enemy. He is mine enemy. Why? Because when someone spat on your face, they thought that, okay, he is just fighting with me. He's having anger on me. He doesn't have the anger on Allah. By keeping that as a reason, can I kill him? Can't. So he thought that is his Iman. That is 100% Iman. He thought, if he's my enemy, I will not kill him. I will not kill him, saying the name of Allah. If he is Allah's enemy, definitely I would have killed him. So therefore, this opponent came Ali radiallahu anhu and asked, why didn't you kill me? Then he told, if you are an enemy of Allah, I would have killed you. But you spat on my face, right? So that time I decided you are my enemy. So therefore, I didn't kill you. Did you understand? So this is a wonderful example. This is a wonderful example that shows the pure intention that he had on Allah. Did you understand? So this was a pure intention. You can directly understand. This is the strong Iman. He has the strong Iman. Clear with that? Clear with that? So this shows the strength of his Iman. Will you be like that? Will you be like that? Will you do good deeds? Don't expose. Will you be that person? Yes, inshallah. I want to see you all in that stage. You ask dua. Whenever you ask dua, ask Allah, make me wealthy where I can fill the pockets of poor. You should ask like that. Make me wealthy where I can fill the pockets of poor. Not the person who is wealthy and taking the money from the poor. Like means you are keeping them starved. So may ask Allah. Allah loves when you ask such duas. These duas will be melting one. Like it's Allah will love you for asking such questions, such dua, right? So how can you ask? You can ask, make me wealthy. I didn't tell you don't be wealthy. No, you have to be wealthy where you can fill the pockets of poor, fill the tummy of the poor. Like you have to think and you ask such dua, and always ask dua for your parents. Always remember, you should have a strong iman, guys. I can only tell you something like this. Have self discipline. If you know to speak properly, that means you are a guardian of Allah. That means I can say you are a mu'min. Why? You know to speak very well. You don't hurt anyone. Your action should not hurt anyone. Your speech should not hurt anyone. So make sure you are always 100% you're doing for the sake of Allah, whatever the things. Got it? Understood? So whatever the things that should be for the sake of Allah. Clear with that? Got the idea? Right. Shall we answer the questions? Yes? Yeah, let me share you the screen. I hope that y'all have taken the print. Have you all? Today, to be honest, I was not that active as the last class because I was sick today. I had my exams and then I came back. I don't want to cancel the class, but I was managed to do it. Right? Yeah. So, anyways, just I did everything for the sake of Allah. Right. Anyways, fine. I'll share you the screen. Start doing the questions. Let's discuss. Okay, what is the connection between Iman and Amal? What kind of a connection are they having? What kind of a connection? You can say that Iman and Amal bind together like flower and its fragrance. You can write the connection. They're asking what is the connection in the sense. You have to write the connection. What kind of a connection is between the Iman and Amal? Right. Next one. What is the importance of Iman and Amal? What do you think about what is the importance of Iman and Amal? Anyone? What is the reason? What is the importance that you could give? You can write like this. So when we talk about now Iman and Amal, you can say righteous deeds are accepted. Righteous, write it with me. Righteous deeds are accepted when there is Iman and Amal together. Righteous deeds are accepted when there is Iman and Amal together. So that is the important. Without Amal, will your deeds accepted? Without Iman, will your deeds get accepted? No. So there should be both. Yeah, that's correct, Amika. That's correct. Okay, next one. What is the difference between the mu'min and kafir? What is the difference? Salah. You can write the difference between mu'min and kafir is what? Leaving out salah. You can write in that way. Fourth question. What is the fourth question? So they say that what is meant by word salihin amal? So you can write actions that are done at correct time in correct manner that will benefit the world and the next world individually or spiritually. Individually or spiritually. So that is the word for the Salih Nama. That is the meaning. Who is known as Mu'min? Who is known as Mu'min? The person who has faith and he practices good deeds. So the person who has faith and practices good deeds, you call them as what? Mu'min. So he should have a Iman and Amal, right? Then only he is considered as Mu'min. Mention a hadith that express the relationship between Iman and Amal? As I told you, can you remember? The person who helps the widows often earns the reward equal to the person who fasts day and pray throughout the night. You can write like that. And always remember, mention the hadith name, Buhari. Mention the hadith name, the easiest hadith that I could recommend you, right? Yeah. And remind me, guys, to send me the hadith in a different PDF. According to the lessons, I'll send you the easiest hadith to remember for your exams, okay? Remind me, okay? Sometimes I might forget. Okay, right. Next one. Next question is, what did you learn from the incident of Ali radiallahu anhu? What did you learn? Like, what did he teach you? What is the thing that you learned? Anyone? Yeah. Very good. That's correct, Suha. You can write. The Ali radiallahu anhu, what did he say? He said, doing something. Yeah, controlling anger also correct. Doing things to get pleasure from only Allah. So you are doing things that is only seeking pleasure from Allah. Right? So that is what he says. Mariam also correct. Has a strong iman. So, but always remember, you have to mention the concept that they told you. What was the thing? He is seeking pleasure from Allah. He could have killed that opponent, but why didn't he? He is doing for the purpose of Allah. He has the strongest iman. So you have to give a small description regarding that. Right. Next one. What are the two types of iman? Iman mufassal and iman mujmal. Right. Mention two acts that weakens the iman. This is something you have to think. Think what are the things that can weaken your iman? You can say act of shirk. Act of shirk can make your iman weak. Then boasting, pride. That's correct. Leaving out salah. Very good. Common. Right. Very good. That's correct. Next one. What are the benefits of iman in the life of a Muslim? You can write one. Seeking rewards, righteous rewards from Allah. One thing is seeking righteous rewards from Allah. Other than that, forgiveness of sins. Very good, Muhammad Riaz. That's correct. Yeah, seeking pleasure from Allah. Very good. Feeling satisfied. Peace of mind. Very good, Asha, Ilyas. Yeah, those are good answers, right? Satisfied at. Benefit in both worlds. Those things also correct. Yes, yeah, that's correct. Less interference from shaitan. Yes, good. Next one. What are the acts that strengthen the iman? What are the acts that can strengthen the iman? Yeah. You can, but prayers. We can say worship. Worship can strengthen your iman. Social service. Sadaqah. We can say sadaqah, transaction. Doing things at right time. Prayers on right time. Okay, fine. We can write good qualities also strengthen your iman, no? How do you strengthen your iman is your intention, no? Good qualities. Performing zikr. That's also correct. Okay, finally, what is ikhlas? What is ikhlas? Very good. Pure intention. Very good, Rana. That's correct. Okay. So did you understand the lesson? Did you understand the lesson? Will you forget the lesson? Will you forget the lesson? Okay. Remember, whenever you study something, okay, there is a tip, okay? Whenever you study something, today you study this lesson, no, tomorrow, look at these questions. Now take this question booklet and go through all the questions with the answers. You will never forget. So all the questions that I have given is for testing. Like you can remember instead of reading your textbook and understanding, when you look into the questions, you will understand automatically this is what are the important things that I have to focus on this lesson. Did you understand? So always remember, revise what you learned if you don't want to forget what you learned today. Did you understand? So then guys, all the best. See you next class and I'll be sending you all the quiz for today. Answer it. Win the prize. Have a good day. Take care. Assalamu alaikum. Yes, Abdullah. You want the answers? Yeah, sure. I'll send you. God bless you too. Walaikum salam. Abdullah, 12th question, no? 12th question is pure intention. 12th question is pure intention, Aman. Abdullah. Ahmed, I'll send you the answers. Can someone send me the answers? 7th question. Hold on, guys. 7th question is, what did you learn from incident of Ali radiallahu anhu? Barakallah Afra. You can write, doing something to get pleasure only from Allah. You learn from doing something to get pleasure only from Allah. Yeah, that's correct, Amir. That's correct. That is the 7th question, Aisha. Hadith. Zainab, I'll tell you the hadith. Can you write it down? Yeah, the hadith is, the person who helps the widows or orphans, the person who helps the widows or orphan earns a reward equal to the person, earns a reward equal to the person who fasts during the day, and pray throughout the night. Barakallah, Suha. Shall I repeat again, Zainab? You're there? Barakallah, Amina. Mariam, you're asking for the 7th one, you the hadith. Always remember, hadith, you have to mention the hadith name. Then only you can do it. I'll repeat it back again. The person who helps the widows and orphans, or widow or orphans, earns a reward equal to a person, who fasts during the day, and pray throughout the night. I'll repeat again. The person who helps the widows or orphans earns reward equal to the person. Who fasts during the day and pray throughout the night.